crowd here in the pit.
If anybody had any problem about the seeding selection, putting these two teams so close up against the top, coming from the same district, I guess all those naysayers basically just got to be gone at this point. Talk about welcoming people back into the pit. We've been here all week. Everybody kind of getting a little bit tired and everything, but all of a sudden you just feel the energy levels coming back up as we're filled to the brim here. The seats are all filling up. This matchup here between the Valley Vikings and the Atrisco Heritage Jaguars is one that is not just significant to 5-5A, you know, the North Valley and the South Valley, although it is certainly to those communities. This is significant across the state because I think people are expecting a really, really great game out of the two of them.
JD, we stood at the ramp where both teams entered here in the pit, and it is loud down there. This place is going to be packed. It'll be close to full capacity. Not quite, but maybe about 12,000 plus expected here. This is dynamite. We mentioned both these teams have already matched up 4 times this year, so they're very familiar with each other. We saw throughout this tournament, both guards on each side of teams go off. In fact, in the semifinals, it was Corbin Waukee, the senior guard at 5'7". He went out of his mind, JD. He went for 38 points against Sandia. He went 12 of 13 from the field shooting. He was 6 of 6 behind the arc, and he literally carried his team to a win in the semifinals. He was dynamite just to watch.
You know, no doubt about it. I looked also, in addition to these high-profile players that we're seeing here, there's a little story inside the story here, a little big story. Both head coaches are both playing with their boys. They're both seniors, and this is the last time they're going to get a chance to coach them, you know, in a high school game. And I'll tell you, you and I are about that down there talking to both of the coaches. A little bit of mist coming up in the eyes. They both start thinking about it. They'll shake all that off, get ready for the game. But I'll tell you, it's emotional.
The atmosphere here is going to be electric. There's no doubt about it. For Adrian Ortega, it's his son, Adrian Ortega, who can really shoot the 3. In fact, he had 4 triples in the quarterfinals when Atrisco Heritage beat Cleveland to move on. And then Bo Coleman had a tremendous night last night, only 7 points, but he had 3 assists and a lot of big rebounds for Valley. So the father-son combo there is working for both sides. Let's look at the guard combo for each side. I mean, we have to talk about Joe and I, maybe one of the best guards in the state, if not the, and then Adonis Saltis for Valley. Adonis Saltis averages 22 points, and he's got a big following in South Dakota listening right now and watching this, and he's been tremendous all season long. They are so hard to guard, especially when they're on, and when they're on, that's why they're 24-2.
Oh, yeah, and you said it right there. We watched the way these guys come at you. You know, I mean, both of these teams have guard play that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But then inside, their bigs will actually complement that guard play on the outside. They're not giants. Neither one of the teams is going to put giants on the inside. But the way that they play a lot bigger than what you think you're looking at down on the floor.
On the other side of Corbin Waukee, it's Joe Brooks, and he really finished the fourth quarter strong yesterday against Sandia in the semifinals. Finished with 11 points in that fourth quarter, a real closer for them. And then, you talk about role players. Devin Peace, he had 16 in the quarterfinals for Atrisco. Is he going to be a role player? Aaron Molina on the inside for Valley, is he going to be a role player? There's a lot of intangibles you could look at.
Can Waukee repeat what he did in the last game? That's a big one. We know he's got it in him, there's no doubt about it, but the Valley Vikings certainly were watching that game. They're going to try and do everything they can to make it to where he can't do that. Love watching these two teams because they are rich with seniors. These teams have been playing against each other and on the same, on the same team, but against each other for, it seems like 12 years. I mean, since they were 8-year-olds, and now they're out here on the floor. So the magic of, I know what it is that you're going to do. You know what I'm going to do. Can I still execute, and can you stop me?
Valley was last in the state championship in 2000. They lost at Atrisco Heritage, brand new to 5A. This is their second year in 5A existence and already in the finals. Folks, when we return, we'll have starting lineups and tip-off. It's the 5A state championship in New Mexico High School Sports right here on the NFHS Network.